Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel and welcome to the next episode of The X-Files. I just want to quickly start by apologising again for the sun. It's not too bright right now, but as always, the sun stays away, I hit record on my camera, or I sit down to record, the sun decides just to glare out from behind the clouds. And I live in England, the sun doesn't like to make any appearances, but for some reason, when I record, it decides he wants to come out and play. So I just want to apologise if it's really bright on my face again. I'll do what I can in editing, but there's only so much I can do. In terms of the X-Files, last episode was The Jersey Devil. Not a great episode, I'm not going to lie. It's one that kind of, so far from watching, has been the only really disappointing episode. I've enjoyed all four before that, and this one was just very slow. Whilst there were some interesting moral things to talk about with the actual Jersey Devil itself, there wasn't a lot in the episode to really go off. A little bit was Scully on the dating scene. But the Jersey Devil itself, whilst it was interesting morally, wasn't the most exciting storyline as a villain, quote-unquote villain, even though it wasn't the villain. The villain really was the police and what they did. It wasn't all that exciting to really talk about, and it just was pretty disappointing overall. But anyway, this episode is called Shadow. I don't know what it could be about. There was an episode of Supernatural I did, was it last week? Called Shadows, and that was about a shadow monster that attacked people. Maybe it's something to do with that. I can't really remember off the top of my head. It's not a name that kind of stands out as something really easy to identify. I guess we'll just jump into episode 6 of The X-Files and see what it's all about.
Oh, honey, it's been a couple of weeks now.
I'm guessing her partner was killed somehow or died somehow.
Really, Jane, I'm okay. I just haven't known a lot of people who've died, you know. I've never known anybody that killed themselves.
Oh, maybe it wasn't someone that she was related to, but just someone that she worked with. Well, that was really fake beeps that were added in after the fact. Because they didn't even perfectly match up with when she pressed the button. Let her go, please. Is she dead now? He did. Oh, that was one of the guys that attacked her. So they're dead somehow, not her. Alright, fair enough.
We hope that your expertise in extraordinary phenomenon will help us answer some questions.
This all seems very ominous.
You're not FBI, are you?
Hello, who are you?
Have you ever analyzed anything like this before?
You guys called us down here. You want some answers, you gotta give some.
Why are they being so weird? I don't get it. You asked them to come for help. I know you're just standing there
is the throat area.
What?
Larynx, esophagus, and hyoid bone all have been crushed like chalk. There's no abrasions or evidence of tissue damage. It's as if their throats were crushed.
Well, clearly, whatever moved that thing that was on the desk killed them. Maybe the lady's telekinetic. I presume she's still alive somewhere.
How can an esophagus be crushed without the neck ever being touched?
By a ghost?
Psychokinetic manipulation.
Or telekinesis? Is that the same sort of thing?
Psychokinesis? You mean how Carrie got even at the prom?
That's what I was thinking, Carrie.
Doing studies on it, the Chinese still are. Their findings are kept secret.
Can I see him today? It's really important.
Oh, I spilled a drink. Oh. Well, she didn't spill it, but...
As a matter of fact, we share something special.
I don't like where this is going.
I want to take care of my family.
Ew, don't touch her. Don't touch her.
Lauren, please. The company needs you, especially now.
No.
I won't let you leave, Lauren.
What the hell was that about?
What's wrong?
Oh, is it hurting you, darling? Maybe keep your hands off women. I don't feel sad that they died. At the end of the day, they randomly attacked a woman. We don't know whether it was for the sake of hurting her, abusing her in other ways, killing her. But either way, it weren't good. So, hasta la vista, babies.
Lauren Kite.
858 Franklin, Ben Salem.
58? No way, piss off.
$40 at an ATM machine.
Look at that.
Maybe it's
Okay.
another person.
Is it the spirit of the boss person that you were
Well, the
close to?
resolution's too poor, it
That
won't
she was
let us
like
enhance it.
really close to, so maybe
That leaves us only
it's
one
protecting
person.
her. Look at that old Pepsi can. Oh, I like that design though.
Have you ever seen either of these two men before?
No.
Take your time.
Oh, in other words, it's like you lying bitch.
This is a surveillance picture from your ATM.
Can you tell us what happened that night?
These guys, I was depositing my paycheck. They grabbed me, I got away, I ran, I just didn't want to file a report. I can't tell you who it is.
It's that weird sort of
You can tell me. This is a number I can.
relationship where Mulder believes in supernatural stuff. I think she believes it's supernatural, but she doesn't know that he'd believe her, so she's keeping it secret. Whereas he's like, I would believe, tell me. What? Uh-oh, but they're not a threat.
What's happening? What the hell's going on?
Just duck and roll out the window, or out the door. I suppose the doors were locked. That could have been really bad. It's weird that whatever it is seems to see them as a threat. If my theory is correct, that it's that boss dude.
They're on.
They're not. The filaments are heated due to massive levels of electrostatic charge.
Ghost.
Just like the bodies in the morgue.
Ooh. It's weird because I've been watching quite a lot of Supernatural recently, which they have a ton of ghosts, so my mind just jumped straight to ghosts, but with the X-Files there's been no ghosts so far. We've had aliens, UFO crafts, a mutant guy, sort of alien stuff again, and then just a woman that lived in the woods.
Or a poltergeist.
They're here.
They may be.
So did Howard actually kill himself? Or is there more to that story that we don't know yet? Oh yeah, there's someone stood there, isn't there?
Enhance it by 10.
I wish this was how technology worked, but I'm afraid not.
That's Howard Graves.
Okay, so it does seem like he's the one that's protecting her then. Grossingtons.
Killed him.
Does appear like he wasn't suicidal,
I think Howard Graves
that
found
he
his own
was
death.
killed by someone. What I am liking about this episode is it feels very different to the ones we've seen so far because we're following this Lauren story quite a lot. Whereas in the other episodes, such as like Deep Throat or Conduit with the family, obviously with the abduction and stuff, we kind of see them at the beginning on the cold open, and then most of the time when we see them after that, it's whenever Mulder and Scully go and visit them in the hospital or at their home or whatever. Whereas on this one, we're cutting back and forth between the two storylines quite a lot, which I'm liking.
You gonna leave without saying goodbye?
Get out of that room immediately. He's a creep.
Well, I came to say goodbye. I know Howard told you. And if it ever gets out, I won't waste my time trying to pin the source.
Maybe he killed Howard. He seems like he's up to something.
To you.
Hands off her. Oh, he's that gross, creepy old businessman, which I hate. Who only care about their own interests. Don't open the door.
Second.
If the ghost is telling you no, don't open it, because it's obviously not going to be Mulder and Scully. Oh God. Here comes Howard. Hill. I mean, my only concern is that she's going to get blamed for this. I have no sympathy for these guys whatsoever because at the end of the day, they're assassins, hitmen, whatever. So they deserve everything that comes to them. Well. Oh, of course Scully didn't see it. Fucking hell. Bloody Scully, she's always a bit too late. So the little legs. Just can't carry her fast enough.
Well, Case, you're the ones who've been withholding information. Why don't
Thank
you
you,
tell us
Scully.
about that?
So they want all the information, but they won't give
HTG Industrial
anything.
Technologies sold restricted parts to the Isfahan.
Partial serial numbers from their manifest were recovered in the wreckage of the July bombing of a Navy transport van.
If they'd have just said for a while ago that they were investigating that company for like dodgy dealings, I'm sure the FBI would have been supportive.
I can't go back to that house.
Why? Because of Howard Graves?
Maybe because 2 people just died in the house.
Dorland came with that group, that Mideast group. Isfahan.
Oh, so Dolan's behind it. I mean, we knew he was
They buy parts
bad,
at
but
an outrageous price.
especially because Howard probably wanted to blow the whistle.
For as long as they could
Howard
get away
got
with
killed.
So now Howard is protecting you?
It sounds so ridiculous. But you believe it.
It's true though.
He was closer to me than my father.
I don't know why we needed to know
I
about
told him that.
his daughter though. Was that just like a red herring?
I still feel his
Because his
presence.
daughter died, he killed himself.
Sometimes
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe that was just like a way of
shame.
us trying to think that that's what happened, and then we obviously
You just could've-
discovered that he wasn't suicidal at all.
Could you back away from those files, please?
Right, where's Knobhead McFuckface? Here he is.
Not even breaking a sweat.
Oh, he's so smarmy.
Wasted a year.
Blah.
What about that van that blew up and killed those servicemen?
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about, you stupid bitch.
No!
Lauren, no!
Oh! I think you just signed your death warrant. I hope.
Don't kill him! Help us find it!
I mean, she's right. Want him to suffer, but I also wouldn't be sad if he died. Slice him and dice him. I guess that's where the information is.
Oh my god.
I guess what we're looking for is here.
And it's all on a floppy disk. Oh, this is so early 90s. I love it.
Thanks.
Is that it? Okay, quick guess. Something kind of creepy's gonna happen.
Miss Kite, I asked for this 25 minutes ago. Maybe that's the way they work back east, but here in the Midwest, punctuality is a virtue.
What that crap you're drinking? If that's coffee, that's a horrible, horrible colour.
We have to find a new office space. Every time a truck goes by, the whole building shakes. That's all, Lauren.
Why don't you try being nice to someone for once, bitch? If not, Lauren's ghost is gonna hook you up. Okay, guys, that was episode 6 of The X-Files Shadows. I have, like, mixed thoughts on the episode. I'm in, like, 2 camps here because whilst I enjoyed the ghost parts of it, and it was interesting to find out more about Howard and what actually happened to him and the whole business storyline, I kind of didn't really like Lauren as a character. Maybe that's just me, but I find her kind of boring and not overly likable and really uncooperative with the FBI, which in some ways I understand because what's happening is kind of unbelievable. But if she'd kind of maybe just been honest from the start, we could have got through this quicker. And I apologise, the sun is getting even worse. But this episode, I don't know, it was just, I guess towards the end I actually got a bit bored, I'm not going to lie. I think the episode could have been shortened by 5-10 minutes. Maybe 5, because I know 10 minutes might have been a bit too short of a broadcast, but it's weird because I was so interested in parts of the storyline, but there was like red herrings here and there, and it was so kind of obvious what was going on at times. Maybe I'm just in a bit of an impatient mood today. I didn't really like the red herring of the daughter and the wife going to the graves. That was kind of pointless because it turned out that was nothing to do with anything. It was all about the guy at work that ended up getting him killed, and that was a kind of an interesting part. That it was actually all this business deal that Howard found out the truth, and because he didn't like it, he ended up getting killed for it. I guess like the main interesting part for me was the setup of the episode. Like I mentioned earlier on, with earlier episodes, we kind of have the cold open where we meet these new characters, and then we kind of follow Mulder and Scully throughout the majority of the episode, and pop in with these characters as and when it kind of suits the storyline, or when Mulder and Scully go and interview them, or see them at a prison or hospital or a base, whatever. Whereas this episode spent a lot of time with Lauren, which I liked because we got to know her more, and we got to more invested in her storyline. I guess for me, I just wasn't overly interested in her as a character, because I didn't think she made smart decisions, and she was just kind of played a bit one note for me. I didn't really understand her motivations at times. I know this is going to be a short review because I don't have a lot to say. I didn't really like the other guys that were investigating the business because, again, they could have made things easy for everybody, but they just chose to go, "We want your help." And then they go, Mulder and Scully go along and try and help them. And they go, "Kind of, what's this about?" And they just go. Like, a bit of give and take might make this whole thing a lot easier, because Mulder might have been more open if they were more open. But yeah, I apologise if this is like a short review. I don't have a lot of thoughts on the episode that I haven't voiced here and throughout. It was okay. It was better than the Jersey Devil, that's for sure, because the ghost stuff was more interesting, and the effects were pretty good for the time. But overall, it was just kind of like a bland story at times, because I guess the main character wasn't all that interesting. But I did enjoy elements of it, and I apologise if you really love this storyline, but it was just okay for me. But yeah, let me know what you thought of the episode in the comments below, and what you thought of Shadows. As always, guys, thank you for watching. My name is Scott, and I hope you're well and taking care of yourselves. Hope the light wasn't too frustrating for you. And yeah, take care of yourselves, guys, and I'll see you all in episode 7 of The X-Files Season 1. Bye, guys.